Okay, good afternoon, everyone. How do I make this screen? I minimize it. I think I look at myself enough times during the day.
Just minimize it.
This makes me very self-conscious.
Just minimize it.
I can't look.
Or you can't?
See, I customized it.
Ria ma'am, what you want to do?
What do I want to do? I think I'm okay now. I see. So can everybody see what I'm doing just for confirmation purposes on Conveyancer?
Remember one time you opened the file? Did you check that file?
Just wait.
Okay.
Minimize.
Minimize what exactly? You mean this?
Minimize this.
I tried, but it's not working.
You want to close this software? Please?
No, I don't actually. You want me to close it?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
I want to share your screen.
Okay.
Then you what to do. Just wait. Share a screen.
My entire screen. Yep.
Share.
Only thing. Double.
Now you can do anything.
Yeah, you're tall. I couldn't reach.
So I can see. Oh yeah.
The gentleman said you can go ahead.
Perfect. Okay, good. So anybody can see that I'm on Conveyancer. Can everybody say yes, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm on Conveyancer right now. I want you to pull out, I sent you guys an email about the verification of identity that you guys must put it in Word and put your logo. Turn into your agreement of purchase and sale. We're going to start inputting things into Conveyancer and later on Unity. So I'm going to open a sale. Sorry, I'm gonna new sale transaction. And we said that our file number was 210001 as per the file opening file list. I'm gonna click on file number. You're gonna use F9. What F9 in Conveyancer is repeating itself. So we're gonna hit the shift, the tab, accounting number for PC law purposes, F9, law clerk, I guess I'll use her, solicitor, Amna, client surname, we're gonna hit add, and we have, our client is Priya Peter Paul. She is a female. Obviously, when you open up your agreement of purchase and sale and it's a firm deal, you will contact your client and you will ask all documentation to be sent to you by email based on the sale transaction checklist I provided to you. So for this purpose is okay. Female, what's her surname? It's Peter Paul. Exactly in the same way of the agreement of purchase and sale. Her first name is Priya. Middle name, it's not in the agreement of purchase and sale. We don't need the date of birth. That's why I ask make sure you give your clients, they give you driver's license and Canadian passport, because you want to make sure that your clients are Canadian resident. In this case, she is. You want to ask their marital status. And here are the options, which are not very much, but I'll show you little tricks here and there. Let's suppose that the property is not the matrimonial home, and therefore, okay, let's hit other for now. But let's suppose other you have, I'm not a spouse, or if there's two people in the agreement of purchase and sale, their spouses of one another, or there's only one person to the ownership of the property. However, there's a consenting spouse. So the spouse, if it's the matrimonial home, must consent to the transaction because it's the matrimonial home. Same thing goes with refinances and purchases. But just to make it a little bit harder for you guys, I want to hit other, and I'll show you tricks. You must get a phone number in the event that later on, a year or two, you need to contact your client for whatever reasons. I do want you to put a phone number. In this particular case, we're going to put mine, since we're talking about me. She's the registered owner. I want every single, I want to go through every single tab. Do not take shortcuts. You must complete every single file, every single line. I don't care. So party surname, you're going to hit F9. It's going to come Peter. Oh, what's the category? Category. Client, envelope salutation, F9. Envelope salutation continuation, F9. Dear, F9. F9 is, okay, Miss Peter Paul. Good. Okay, phone number. Is record active? Yes. Okay. Save? Yes. You see here, Peter Paul. Select. This will pop up again. You're going to hit on the spousal status for the little trick, and you're going to hit on that magnifying glass that I love, and you will have more options. And the one that I wanted to choose is I'm not separated, which is true, but the subject property is not a family residence. Then you have spouse has released parts 2 of the separation agreement. So let's suppose that they're selling and it's a family law matter. You must have a separation agreement, and you must follow how you're going to break the proceeds pursuant to that separation agreement, and you're going to go over with a fine-tooth comb. Or the subject property is not a family residence at the time of separation. That you will click when you contact your client and you say, okay, what's your marital status? And if they say to you, look, I recently separated. I said, okay, you have a separation agreement? I recently had a client. No. Okay, so is this the matrimonial, or will it be? No, I just separated. We haven't been able to do a separation agreement because it costs a lot of money or for whatever reason. So you will put subject property is not a family residence at the time of separation. And you will ask your client what was the time of the separation to the best of his knowledge or her knowledge. This one I haven't come across, but for this purposes, not separated subject. These bottom ones I never come across. The most I've come across is not separated subject property is not a family residence. I came across by separation agreement. I've also come across subject property not a family residence at the time of separation. And please go thoroughly with your client with respect to marital status. It could come back and haunt you. So for here, not separated, okay. Verification ID, no, no. Email, we'll do Priya at, I'll do Priya's tutorials at gmail.com. I'm going to press OK. Perfect. Purchaser surname. You're going to click on the magnify. Oh, guys, in the future, if you see here, you have a client file number here. So 100499. In the event that you want to change your client status or whatever you want to change, you're going to click here, the magnifying glass. You're going to click ID number, click here, and you're going to type 100499, and it's directly going to take you here and press edit and whatever you want to change. Because let me tell you, going the other way is like going like this. You click here, and then you click on client surname, and you start searching. It's going to take longer, especially when you're in a rush. You click on the magnifying glass, you click on the ID, you move this down a little bit so you can see the ID 100499, and you make the appropriate changes. And you want to add it for whatever thing you want to change, especially on the spousal status. But in here in the first tab A, it doesn't show specifically, but it will later on. So just bear with me. Press OK, OK.
Priya,
Yep.
sorry to interrupt. Can I ask you a quick question?
Anything.
The spousal status that you put not separated, and it's not a family residence, is that usually seen in cases if it's a resale or if there's buying for investment purposes?
You see that in a purchase for an investment purposes. However, on a sale, you would want. I'll show you. I'll come to that when we get to. That will come once. Okay, I'll give you an example. Because of what you just said, usually on sales you don't pull title, but because you must trust no one, I do pull title and I put it as a separate disbursement on a sale transaction. And I always pull the last instrument and I pull the charge if they have a mortgage, and I want to reconfirm what it says. And I will get back to you with that.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. I had a client, I pulled the last instrument, which was a charge with National Bank, and it stipulated that. So when I speak to him, he says, no, I'm married. And I said, but based on your last instrument, your mortgage, what you did in 2017, it says that you're not a spouse. And he says, no, I'm not legally married, but I am cohabiting. So, and I said, okay, so you're cohabiting, meaning that is the cohabitation, how long has it taken? It was, oh, it's been more than 6 months. I said, okay, so obviously you're still not a spouse, but it turned out to be that they were purchasing at the same time they were selling. So when they purchased, they both went on title, both not a spouse, and they went as joint tenants because they were going to get about married. I will go with that with you once we get into tab, let me see, of the existing mortgages. When we pull the existing mortgage, I always do that because some lawyers, they do not give the requisition date on time, especially with this transaction. It didn't go on time. So I was forced to actually pull title. And that's how I was able to obtain that information. But I want you to do it either or. Any other questions? Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, don't worry. I'm not done with that question because I want to bring it up. Okay, so we'll go to the purchaser surname. Gonna hit add. And we have Dali, which is a male surname, Dali. Some lawyers like to capitalize people's last name because sometimes, depending on which ethnic individuals they're from, it's hard to tell what's their last name and what's their first name. And then it's Boo. Do they have a middle name? And what is their date of birth? I don't have their date of birth yet because I don't have the requisition letter yet. I emailed you guys the requisition letter, so we'll go with that once we pull the full information. I don't know what their spousal status is as of yet. Registered owner. We're going to add an individual because that's what the agreement purchase and sale. And then we have Preet, so that's a female. Surname is Dali. First name is Preet. We don't know anything yet. We don't know nothing yet. So general, we're going to go F9. Category is other party. F9, F9, F9. Okay. Yes. Select. Okay. Closing date. What's the closing date pursuant to the purchase agreement? It says February 16, which it passed, but I know it got amended to the 22nd. If there's an amendment, you must select. Date of agreement of purchase and sale is the 17th of November. November 17, 2020. Here you would put refer by. So what's your referral source? Is it your real estate agent? Is it a broker? You want to keep that in mind. And what's your fee code? I don't know. Usually we'll put $8.95 to review docket F9. Special comments here. You can put purchasing on the same day. File number 21002. Executing documents. Brampton, when are going to be executing? We'll come back. Schedule an appointment, come back. Will documents be signed remotely? We're going to say yes because of the pandemic. On the UFI warranty, there's a lot of options. I like to use standard wording. A lot of people use knowledge and belief. I like to use standard wording. Is file, and we'll get to that later on as to why. Is file inactive? No. So we got through the first tab A. Always use your check marks here at the select status. It's not fully complete, so we have to come back to it because we don't have the requisition yet. So incomplete, hit save, and you will see here the little star that it's not fully complete. Get used to using the stars because real estate, you have to keep coming back and forth. So, and sometimes a lot of people in the future, if I need to verify people's last names, there's a lot of spelling mistakes that other people have done, and you need to double make sure about that. So vendor, we have Priya. Click on the pencil, and here you will have not separated, subject properties, not a family residence. Okay, here's a phone number. Does vendor currently reside subject property? I'm going to say no, because she's buying at the same time. And what is her address for the purchase? Assuming that you have the agreement of purchase and sale for the purchase. So I'm just going to put 123 Jane Street. And this will show up once you report to your client the address for the closing. And that's in Brampton. Province F9. It will automatically put all the province in Canada. If you want to know the postal code, hit the magnifying glass and it will tell you the postal code. Close. Okay. Ambulance salutation. Direct deposit balance of funds to client's bank account. We're going to say no because we're going to use the funds from the sale transaction, transfer it to the purchase transaction, and we're going to do a direction regarding matter to matter where the funds of the sale are going to go to be transferred automatically to the purchase. Just to make it difficult for you guys. Okay, this is complete. I'm fully satisfied. Purchaser and solicitor. Will purchaser be resigning of the property? We don't know yet. Who's going to be the solicitor? I don't know. Let's just pick somebody. Okay. Select. Once you get your requisition, you're going to write the law clerk, their email, and their file numbers for future purposes. This is not fully complete because I don't have the requisition letter just yet. Property jurisdiction. It is, click on the item and it's Brampton. Perfect. Select. Property address. We're going to put 107 Octillo Boulevard. City F9. Click on the magnifying glass, close, okay. Is this a condo? What I'm going to do, copy. You're going to investigate. Oh, how am I going to do this? Okay, this. And I'm going to put on paste, enter. I'm going to find out if this is really a condo. Octavio 110. Obviously, they're all home, so no. Is this a condo? No. It's a resale home. Yes, from what it seems. This is all the stuff that you're going to get on your searches on your requisition. And you're going to ask the property tax roll number when your client gives it to you. You guys in the materials, you guys have that. Remember I sent you an email the property tax in Brampton. Property tax. So roll number is 10-07-0023-321-00000. Title search performed. Yes, we will. Last transfer. What's the PIN number? Survey date. Is there a survey? In the agreement of purchase and sale, if you look, it doesn't say. It says that the survey is if available. If there is a survey, you're going to put the survey date. And you're going to put who is the surveyor. Oh, here they don't give you any options. Oh, wow. Then you add. You add and you put it the surveyor and so forth. I'm going to press OK. Close. Taxes we'll get into. We're not fully complete yet on this one. Compliance. Compliance. Usually on a sale transaction, I don't usually send out anything unless we get a tax certificate. But because it's Brampton and your client gives you their customer number, we'll be able to pull that off from here, from the Google. So let's go to the city of Brampton, and I'll show you guys what I mean. Where are property taxes? Business, online services, my property tax. And that's where you're gonna ask your client, especially if it's the city of Brampton or the city of Toronto, they have to give you a customer number. So you're going to put in a customer number here. You're going to put the address. Octavio. There we go. That comes up. I cannot provide you with the customer number. That's for private information. And then here we're going to type what it says here. Once you click submit, you're going to get what I sent you by email. It says City of Brampton. Taxes and assessment, and it's my property tax. So once you do that, then you'll be able to work. So compliance, no, we don't do nothing when it comes to sale. Okay, so here's the one that I wanted to get, but we don't have a requisition letter yet. I sent it to you guys by email, so we'll come back to that one. I know there's a mortgage. I did send you guys a commission statement. This is when, as soon as the real estate agent the deal secretary provides it to you, we have a commission statement. They will either send it to you by email or together with the agreement of purchase and sale or fax. So the listing brokerage is Remax. Let's click on the magnifying glass and it's Remax. We'll click on this guy just for this. Is commission on a fixed percentage? No. And then here we're going to put no, because in here, the commission before HST, you're going to put what's on the commission statement, the one that I emailed you. And it says total commission is $52,750.00. Now, you guys must calculate this for your clients, because many clients say, well, my real estate agent told me that they're going to charge me in total 3%. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your total purchase price, which according to the agreement of purchase and sale, it shows $1,060,000. times 3%, what your client has said, and that comes to 31,000. So that's not happening. So right away, you gotta call your client and say, look, the commission statement is not 3% of what you told me. It looks like it's more. It looks like it's 5%. So let's see, 1,060,000 times 5%, it comes up to 53,000. So new times should be 4.5%. No. 4.8%. No. 4.9%. So that's weird. 52. So they're charging them higher than what your client has advised you. And you're going to explain to them as to what percentage they're charging. Plus HST. Does deposit be held by real estate commission? Yes. So you're going to look into your commission statement and you're going to see that 52,000 is there. HST is 6,000. So total commission is 59. But that's not entirely correct because we need to do the statement of adjustments, and that will adjust, and we'll get back to that once we do the statement of adjustments. Undertakings given, not yet. So let's do the statement of adjustments. And that is on the agreement of purchase and sale. You're going to right click on the sale price, net out HST from HST inclusive sale price. You will find that on your agreement of purchase and sale on paragraph 7. It's included in. You will not see that on commercial. So sale price, 1,060,000. Okay. I mean, not value. 1,060. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. 1,006,000. The deposit will be in the agreement of purchase and sale, which is right click $40,000. Right click multiple deposits. No. When you click yes, that usually happens if it's in a purchase of a builder. You will see multiple deposits. But for here, we're going to say no. What's the deposit? $40,000 based on the agreement of purchase and sale. You're going to hit OK. And you're going to confirm that on your commission statement because it is in your due diligence to make sure that the purchaser provided the $40,000 deposit. Now, some real estate agents are really nice and they give you the proof of deposit of $40,000 so you don't make a mistake on your statement of adjustments. And usually you can kind of see in the commission statement that I showed you or I provided to you, it says total commission plus HST minus deduct held in our trust, $40,000. So now your balance due is $19,000. Okay, so let's go back to the broker commission and you'll see that it's $19,000. So that's good. We got a check mark. Let's go back to the statement of adjustments because we're not done. So property tax, when I showed you guys the property tax, I've emailed you the materials and it's 2021. It says account summary. So the 2021 taxes, as you very well know, if you're not a homeowner, you got two parts. You have the interim, which covers 6 months, or you have the final, which covers the whole year. So we know that for 2021, property taxes have been assessed at $3,000 taxes. Type of taxes, realty taxes. Base tax adjustment on which tax bill? We're going to put interim. Estimated percentage increase, 5%. No, that's too high. I don't accept more than 3%. So amount of 2021 interim tax bill, based on the materials I showed you, it's $3,074. Will vendor have paid full amount? Let's see. Look in the adjustments. So 2020, sorry, property taxes for City of Brampton, future due. So the next bill is February 17, so they paid that. So they pay the interim because we have the February, which you can confirm that. Yeah, so they paid it. 2020 is up to date. 2019 is up to date. So they paid. So vendor will have paid towards 2021 based on the installments. Interim has 3 installments, usually majority of the cities, running from February, March, and April. Then you got your other interim, which is your final, which run through August, September, October. October is the last month that property taxes are collected by each and every municipality. So vendor will pay towards $1,026. So here we have vendor share for 52 days. Yeah, credit vendor. So credit our client $123.84. There we go, February. Adjust as of closing date, 22nd, 2021. So we're going to select complete. And right away, I'm going to go to view print because you have this. I like to do this. It looks more professional. So hit on view print. View print editable. No, print preview. So the reason why I like this particular one, because if you go at the bottom, you see E and O and E, meaning obviously you guys know what that is, errors and omissions. And I like that one. I don't like the other statement of adjustments that I'll show you, but I like this because things could change, as you very well know. So here you have more professional statement of adjustments, vendor, purchaser, and here you have your, that's what I was telling you about. And this is what you're going to explain to your clients when you are signing them up. You got credit vendor on one column. You got credit purchaser on another column. So credit vendor, $1,060,000 minus the deposit of $40,000 plus $123.84 based on the property taxes. This is what's due on closing, $1,020,000. Because here at the bottom, you have 2 columns that must equal out at all material times. So now we're going to hit, you can hit print. That will be printing. So let's hit the door. Some real estate transactions, they have a tenant. So we're going to right click and tenancy. Is it a current rental period or is it it's a current rental period? Yes. If there is a lease, it will guide you. So payment frequency, rental payments monthly. Does the tenant occupy entire premises? Could be the whole house for investment purposes. Let's say no. So tenant occupies the basement. Okay, because it's a house, yeah. Basement, payment monthly, yes. What's the rental amount? Which obviously you're going to ask your client for if there's a lease or what is, if there's a lease, if it's not, if it's in a month to month. And you're going to look in the agreement of purchase and sale and you're going to say, well, it doesn't say that the purchasers are going to assume the tenants. So obviously you must make sure that you tell your clients that, look, you must provide your tenant with 60 days notice. And if they fail to do so, you can apply to the landlord and tenant tribunal and supply them with, I think, form a T4, which is a termination. Supply them with to terminate because you're selling the property. If the purchasers don't want it. If they do want to assume the tenants, you must do an acknowledgement from the tenants in a direction. We'll get to that. And if there is a tenants to be assumed, what's the rental amount? Nowadays, the basement doesn't go no more than $1,600. Commencement date of current dental period. If there's not a lease, you got to let your client find that information. Let's say January 1st. Commencement date. Has vendor collected rent for the above rental period? Say yes. Adjust HST? No. Rental monthly rent is okay. Tenant has paid rent for the period commencing January 1st. Vendor share for credit purchaser. No. Oh, women's date of. No, should be. Sorry. Okay, perfect. So we have to click February 1st because our closing is February 22nd. That means we have to credit the purchaser for 21 days if they assume the tenant. But in this agreement of purchase and sale, it doesn't show. So we're going to delete. But I'm just showing you. Yes. You have other adjustments you're going to come across, such as condominiums. So you're going to click on condominium expenses. So what's the common expenses? And that you will see in the agreement of purchase and sale. Usually on the purchaser side, you have to give them not only the agreement of purchase and sale, but also the condominium status. So you ask your client to give you the condominium status, or you can actually call the condo just to confirm. I like to confirm things in the event of any arrears that they might not have, and just to confirm that what is the common expenses. Usually you find it in the agreement of purchase and sale. Ask your client as well and tell them, okay, what's the phone number so I can confirm, or give me the status certificate, because they're going to have to supply this either or to the purchaser. That would be one part of the conditions on the agreement of purchase and sale. If you had a condominium, that would be in the condition that the seller must provide the status certificate within 5 to 10 business days. And if so, tell them to give you a copy so we can make up a number of, I don't know, 457. Our common expenses paid for February 1st. Yes. So credit vendor 114.25. We're going to right click and delete. Yes. Right click. Here, if we have a sale and there's a vendor take back mortgage, you need to know the particulars. How much is going to be a vendor take back mortgage? Obviously, it becomes a private. So let's say it's $125,000. Priority of mortgage should be assumed. So it gets a little bit tricky when it comes to vendor take back mortgage. I will get to that, but I just wanted to introduce you to vendor take back mortgage because I've noticed there is quite a lot. I'm seeing a lot of that right nowadays, simply because on purchases there is no secondary financing. Their figures, principal for interest, or combined or separate. We'll get to that, but I just wanted to show you what a vendor take back mortgage will look like for now. And usually it would be adjusted in the statement of adjustments. It would be probably credit purchaser this amount of money, right? So let's say, let me see, how can I put, no, I'm going to put first. It will be a first mortgage. Separate. This would be the details of, you would provide the details of what is the vendor take back mortgage. Usually that's handled with the real estate agents and it would stipulate on the agreement of purchase and sale as to what the principal amount would be, what is the interest rate, is it calculated interest only, semi-annually, and so forth. Usually when it's a vendor take back and it's private, it's interest only. 1 year closed or open, and is it renewable, and so forth. Sometimes these real estate agents don't know the particulars of vendor take back mortgage, so that's where you need to contact your client and say, okay, what is the Is it how it's going to be amortized? Is it interest only, semi-annually? Are you doing prepayments? Are you going to be deducting the prepayments in the statement of adjustments? We'll get to that. I just don't want to confuse you, but I want to start introducing you to this type of vendor take back. So we're going to click, we're going to save. Direction regarding funds, not yet. Executions, we'll get to that. A statement of account. Some law firms, they like to use this, that it's a breakdown. I find it, it's a big number. People, I've noticed that perception is everything. And I think I've seen a lot of law firms, they break it down. When you put a big figure here, so let's suppose that you're charging $9.95 and you add the disbursements, executions, let's see, postages, I don't know. You see at the bottom, when people see this big number, when you're combining your fee with disbursement, they see this big number right away. They're like, oh my God, that's a lot on legal fees. It's too much. I like to see to break it down, and I'll show you what I mean. When you break it down to people, when you break it down, they'll take it more lightly. So here we have the trust ledger. So receipt from purchaser and closing, you're going to touch receipts and you're going to hit F9, which come up to $1,020,000. So this is what you're going to receive on the day of closing, subject to the statement of adjustments we just did. Paid real estate broker fee, F9, $19,000. Here's how we're going to break it down to people. I've noticed people will not challenge you or say you're charging too much. Please give me a discount, Better off pay legal fees, or just paid to legal fees. I want to put this fee, and we're going to put, usually the ongoing rate is $8.50. You're going to click here, right click, insert, expenditure, okay, paid. Disbursements. Usually nowadays disbursements run from a range to $350, $450. I usually charge $350. So once you, sorry?
Me too.
You too? Once you start breaking things down, they will see, oh, that bill doesn't come up to $1,200. Perception, again, is everything, especially in this business. Expenditure, so we're going to put paid, HST. What's HST on? Hold on. I'll show you guys a trick. I'm going to show you a trick.
Nowadays they've raised conveyancer fee. I think
Yep.
it's $150, right? How much is that?
Actually it's $129 with HST. I just rounded off to $130, but we'll get to there because I'm not done this thing yet. So $850 plus disbursements of $350 comes to $1,200. So here we're going to put $1,200. Right away, HST here is $156. I don't like to do things in the calculator because the calculators have tricked me here and there, and I look stupid sometimes in front of clients. So I'm like, I'm not doing that again. 156. 156. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to add here, insert, expenditure, paid searches, because you're going to say this to your client, these are government searches. This has nothing to do with me. So paid searches due to late requisition date, and you can explain why. So that way you kind of look like a hero. You know, you say, look, I had to do searches because the purchaser failed to provide me with requisition. In this particular case, they were late. I still don't know who the lawyer is. So 89.90. Then you're going to put insert expenditure paid transaction levy.
Whose copy is this?
Levy fee, $73.45. That's the total. And the reason why solicitors, isn't mine? Oh, thank you. The reason why solicitors have to pay the transaction levy fee because there's no title insurance. Now, I've argued with a lot of lawyers previously. One of them said to me, Priya, can you find in the Law Society that we don't need to charge the transaction levy fee because they have a purchase as well? So I went into the rules, and if you look at the guidelines, on the spreadsheet, I think they have that. It says that you have to charge. It doesn't matter whether your client is selling and buying at the same time. It does not apply. You still have to pay the transaction levy fee. So, and if you look at their guidelines, they will tell you as to how it applies to pay transaction levy fee. But in a nutshell, in itself, if there is no title insurance, and let's not forget that you're not purchasing title insurance on a sale transaction, you have to charge the transaction levy fee. When you get into privates, when we get into that, if you're acting for the borrower, you will have to charge a transaction levy fee as well. Because don't forget, you're not purchasing title insurance for the borrower. The solicitor acting for the lender in a private mortgage will get title insurance. So when you're representing, and please keep that in mind, put it in your notes, that if you're representing the borrower on a private deal and you're providing independent legal representation, not advice, does not apply, representation, you must include transaction levy fee. And the reason why I'm being so like this is because I had a major argument with 2 lawyers, actually. And it got as far as to human resources. But anyways, that's a story for another self. Okay, so this thing is not complete because we don't know if we have a mortgage. So we got pay transaction fee, pay levy fee, insert expenditure, paid software transaction fee, which is the conveyancer / Unity. I think it's $129.25 to be precise. We'll find that out. Also, I want to insert expenditure paid storage fee. And usually you can reach around from $45.50.
Why do borrowers have to pay transaction levy fee?
Why borrowers have to pay?
Private transaction.
Because are you getting title insurance on behalf of the borrower?
No.
Thank you very much. That's the reason why. I actually had to call the Law Society.
What is the connection between?
Sorry?
What is the connection between transaction levy fee?
You might want to speak louder for them to hear, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to know, like, what is the connection between transaction levy fee and the title insurance?
Because it's the transaction fee you're paying. It's a Law Society fee you're giving to them for each transaction. Just like when you do a statement of claim, you pay Y&81, you pay levies.
Yeah.
That's the same way. It applies to sales.
Sales, I understand.
Yes, but it also applies to independent legal representation on a private when you're
Acting for the borrower.
Acting for the borrower. And I got to find that out. I'm telling you, I had a big argument with 2 lawyers to the point where I was so upset that I actually called the Law Society myself.
A lot of lawyers don't pay that.
Because lawyers don't know.
Oh.
A lot of lawyers don't know.
This is something new for me too.
It's something new for you. I'm going to send you the materials. I've seen it in the spreadsheet of Law Society. I obtained it because I had to show it to these lawyers. You know how they are. They want everything in writing and proof. So I brought them, like, look, here you go. See, you have to pay transaction levy.
Oh.
And there's something new. Because I told them, if there's no title insurance, you gotta pay transaction levy fee.
Sometimes you take title insurance for lenders only, right?
No, if it's a private deal,
You get it for the lenders.
you get title insurance for the lenders,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't get title insurance for the borrowers.
Yeah.
So you gotta pay transaction levy fee.
Okay. So what is the connection? Why do we have to pay?
Because it's same as a sale transaction. That's how they see it. That's how the Law Society sees it. So please write that down.
Yeah.
You don't want to be caught otherwise.
Priya, can you just repeat that? So in 2 occasions, we have to charge levy fees. One, if we're acting for a borrower in a private transaction, and in another one, when there is when we do not buy the title insurance.
There's 2 times where you have to pay the transaction levy fee. One is on a sale transaction, what we're doing here. And the other one is on private. If you're acting on behalf of a borrower and it's a private deal, you have to charge a transaction levy fee. That's only. And
You also mentioned that there is no title insurance if you're not buying a.
there is no title insurance on a sale. There is title insurance on a private, but that's for the lender, not for your client. And don't forget that once you start seeing, the builder documentation, the builder when you're doing a purchase, haven't you noticed that they charge the client, the purchaser, for the transaction levy?
Sorry, what's that?
When you're acting, have you done a purchase transaction for a builder and you see the statement of adjustments of the builder solicitor? Usually it's Brady's or LP Piper. Don't you see in the statement of adjustments that they charge the transaction levy fee?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we have pretty good. Any questions so far? No? Okay. We'll continue. Let's suppose that we pull title. So let's go back now to, what do I want to touch? Let's go, where am I? Oh, there we go. So let's go back here to the subject property. Pull your guys the parcel, the one that I emailed you. Parcel register. That's the search that I did on the property. So I pulled it manually because I want to do this the hard way with you guys. I will teach you the easy way on a purchase transaction we're going to have, but I'm doing this the hard way. Sorry. So in this particular case, it's lot 4. So we're going to see lot 4. We're going to write lot 4, plan. I like to put plan 43 M 1403. Subject to a right at any time until the later of 5 years from 2000 or until the said plan numbers 43M and 43 and 14 are assumed by the Corporation of the City of Brampton as an LT 2126287 towards row in favor of lot 4 plan over part lot 5. Okay, I see. So when I'm seeing that, that means that this house was built by a builder. Builder has a right for 5 years to enter the property, and that usually is because of grading. Once they finish the grading, municipality will assume the subdivision. And I will teach you how to obtain that. Now for City of Brampton, which I love, City of Brampton.
Yeah, me too.
I love Brampton. I grew up in Brampton. City of Brampton will tell you if the property has been assumed by the municipality. Also, the City of Vaughan. I haven't seen that on City of Toronto and so forth. So basically, when you get your requisitions, and we will go over that today, hopefully, I'll teach you how to do the how to find out if the City of Brampton has assumed this particular property. Okay, so the subdivision, I mean. Okay, so being part, unplanned, no. Parcel, no. Section, no. Easements, no. So we have that. What was the last transfer number? So last transfer number. So if you go to page 4, there's a discharge of charges or charge. Oh, so this person, your client, has a first mortgage with National Bank, which we got a request for a discharge statement. Then there's another discharge of charge. Okay, fine. And when you pull these instruments, I will show you later on, we have to make sure that we also include the deleted instruments. We have a charge. And by the way, when you pull parcel abstracts, it's public information. Nobody can say, well, you're infringing upon my privacy rights and so forth. And I say, no, sorry. Anybody can pull anybody's title. I mean, I could simply go to 20 Dundas, as you probably know, and I can pull anybody's title and get it for free. So the last transfer here we have, but I redacted it. So let's put PR. I actually know it by heart. Okay. So PIN number, PIN number means it's the property description. What's the PIN to that property? The legal, it's not, no, legal description is in the thumbnail. So PIN number is the property identifier. Yes. Click on the pencil. So the first PIN is 142240879. Perfect. Now, when it comes to condominiums, you can see here, second PIN, third PIN, fourth PIN, that applies to condominiums in the sense of condominiums have usually a dwelling, which will say, I don't know, level, unit this, level 12. Then you have, some of them have a parking, some have 2, some have a locker, some don't have. And I will show you how to identify each. I kind of figured it out. How to identify what's a locker, the PIN towards what's the parking lot. And that will go here. So if there was a locker, if this was a condominium sale, you would put the dwelling the first. The second, you can choose a locker, the parking. So here we go, the locker or parking. Here, locker or parking. Okay, press OK. PIN numbers. So now we have the PIN numbers. There's no survey. Are we fully complete? Here we have this, property taxes. We did that already. So yes, we're complete. Save. So from what I saw on the parcel abstract, we have a mortgage with National Bank. First mortgage, National Bank of Canada, which we're going to have to request a discharge because pursuant to the agreement of purchase and sale, if you read it on your materials, it states that all encumbrances must be deleted or discharged prior to closing. So go to your materials and go to what the instrument looks like this. A charge. When you pull out the instrument, you have the last charge that was registered in 2014, September 10 on your right-hand side. Oh, And it tells me on the charger, it tells me their marital status. So let's go back and change it. Because I gave you guys an example before. Now we're going to get to the itty bitty of things. So we're going to click on client surname. We're going to add. So gender, we have a male, and the surname is Tull. First name is Word. Yes, he's Canadian resident. And what's his marital status? It says, I'm not a spouse. So when I called this client up a couple of weeks ago, I said, Veronica, so who is this Edward Tull? And she said to me, well, that's my son. Oh, okay. So I take it, okay, he's your son. Is he married? Is he legally married? No. Says, but he's about to get married. I said, okay, is she living there? Is this the matrimonial home? She says, no. Okay, so she's not a spouse. He's not legally married. She said, no. Okay, so I'm not a spouse. Okay, perfect. Add an individual. We're going to add female, which her surname is O, and her first name is Veronica. Canadian resident, which I verify with her ID and passport. Yes. I don't need a birth date. That only applies to a purchase. Sorry, does somebody have a question? No? Oh, okay. Spousal status, let's go back to the last instrument of 2014. And it says here, Earn M is my spouse and has consented to this transaction. So when you speak to your client, you're going to say, is Mr. Earn M continue to be your spouse? If they say yes, which it coincides, then it matches your marital status. You have to make sure that it matches and nothing has been changed. And let's suppose that it does change. Make sure you do a statutory declaration that you must keep in mind that anything that you input on eReg, on TerraView, you must have an affidavit. You can't just make up statements just like this. No. A solicitor must back up those statements by a way of a statutory declaration. Okay? Please keep that in mind. Because I had another dispute today with another lawyer. And we'll get to that when it comes to a purchase. So basically, this lawyer says to me, I said to him, he says to me, Priya, please, can you review the transfer? Okay. I said, where's your prescribed form, 5.0? No, you have to do it. Okay. I get the prescribed 5.0. I said, okay, where's the affidavit? You can't just say that the client was here 183 days in Canada and you don't have an affidavit to that effect. I said, I'm sorry. We need to contact the client. He has to come back to the office and he has to sign an affidavit of the prescribed form 5.02. They did. They came back and they signed an affidavit with respect to the prescribed form of 5.0. And I will teach you that when it comes to the purchase side. So for Veronica, there's a consenting spouse, and it says, we're going to click on this one, the same one as it says here. I am a spouse. The person consenting below is my spouse. Okay, and who is that consenting spouse? It's a male. Surname is M. First name is Earn. Okay. What's their capacity? And we will see that in your parcel abstract. Oh, you will see here capacity, and it says JT, means joint tenants. They're all joint tenants, meaning that, let's suppose they're selling and they're not buying another house. All monies must go to all registered owners. Let's suppose that here it says tenants in common. So each one has a share. Let's say mom and dad have a share of 50% and son, being Word Tull, has another 50%. Then you must do the proceeds according to what it says here. A lot of lawyers like to do directions. I don't. I personally don't like it because it creates problems in the future, and you don't want that. Believe me, it's not worth your license. You want to do things accordingly to what it says here.
Yeah.
A lot of lawyers say, do a direction. Son is giving all the money to the parents.
A lot of people say that they are, we have a trust agreement or something like that.
People say have a trust agreement.
That's wrong. That's not even valid in court anymore.
Right. So you know what I do? Well, since you have a trust agreement and since you guys are so peachy with together,
Yeah.
I'll give you all the sale proceeds and you guys deal with it.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want the headache.
Yeah.
You don't want the stress.
Yeah.
What for?
True.
Then you're going to go, no, do things right from day one in order not to have any problems because you have better things to do. And let's not forget, if you have to go back to a file, that's time. So it's
Yeah.
like $850 you charge. It's like, okay, now you're negative $2,000 because you put so much time and effort into this file. So no, I'm sorry. You're going to say pursuant to the rules, I can't. I have to go based on this to the register owners and solve it amongst yourselves. Simple. It's called tough love. So they were joint tenants. As joint tenants, you're going to hit OK. Oh, I forgot the general. F9. Category client. Envelope salutation. F9. Dear F9. Oh, what number do we put? Phone number. 416. I don't know. Just making up a number. Okay. Yes. Select. So we have toll mail. I'm not a spouse and you're going to put on your files. Oh, we can do this. You guys see here a sticky. Here it's a memo. And you're going to say on February 17th or 15th, spoke to client at 7:38 p.m. Client has confirmed the following. Because let's suppose you get a complaint down the road. You want to be able to do your notes. So you confirm with the client's A1. You're going to say Ward toll is not a spouse. You're going to say to client, client customer number for property tax bill is, I don't know, XOXO. 3, what else are you going to say? You can put on your notes. And you put a sticky. So you hit OK. And you already have a sticky. You can move the sticky around however you want. I like to have my stickies here. So I can click on it. And I can remember little details here and there. You can actually say, client has advised me that they want funds to go to another person. You responded, cannot do so. You can write all kinds of notes if you want. Okay, so going back to your search. Oh, okay, never mind. We're going back to here to the charge because we got to request a discharge statement now because they have a first mortgage. I want to say that let's suppose that you have a sale transaction and there's private mortgages. Private mortgages are very tricky to deal with. I usually suggest not to do a solicitor's undertaking. I want a 3-way DRA. That's what I do with private mortgages because you want it discharged. Usually the purchaser solicitor will want it discharged on closing. So what you do is, if there's a private mortgage, you want to obtain the acknowledgement direction executed. statement for discharge purposes executed by whoever the lender is. And you will do a 3-way DRA with all parties involved. That way the purchaser solicitor can register once everything has been discharged. We'll get to that. But I'm just giving you examples what I'm seeing a lot recently, particularly with private mortgages. A lot of lawyers out there are taking solicitors' undertakings. No.
What people do down then you know, so when there's lawyers giving an undertaking and
No.
the other lawyers enforcing that undertaking, you can't do that.
What for? You're open to liability.
Yeah.
No way.
But
I would.
A lot of people don't close the transaction like.
No, then you do direct deposit. Usually everything now is done electronically.
Yeah.
So usually what I do is I provide the funds to whatever discharge statement is for the private. I tell them to message the purchaser solicitor to message the discharge, just the way we're going to do the message now on the transfer. Once they have the money, they will sign for completeness, which they will assume the charges. And the purchaser solicitor will register the discharge and will register the new transfer and if they have a mortgage.
Right.
That's the proper way to go. That's the whole point of a DRA. You taking a solicitor's undertaking, so what? Let's suppose that the solicitor dies.
Yeah.
Right? What's going to happen then? So when it comes to private mortgage, if it was an institution like RBC, sure. But if it's a private mortgage and solicitor, look if there's a discrepancy.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess around with private mortgages because they can spiral out of control, especially with the per diem.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll get to that. I just wanted to touch the startup with you guys. Okay, moving forward, we're going to hit on F because now we have to request the discharge statement from the first mortgage, which is National Bank. So we got one existing mortgage. Okay, mortgage is to be discharged. Now, there's another one too. Some people, what happens is they're bridging. What does bridging mean? Or some, they call it porting. Some banks. Scotia calls it porting. HSBC calls it porting. TDRBC call it bridging. And what does that mean is this. Let's suppose you have a sale transaction. We have that now. And your client is also buying in the future.
Near future.
Yeah?
Near future.
Yes. Sorry. Near future. And they don't have enough funds on a purchase. They will be bridging, meaning that the bank will give them additional money because they're happening on the sale. And on the sale, from the sale, you got to pay the bridging. So let's suppose that the transaction on a purchase, they're getting a mortgage with TD, and TD is also giving them an additional loan for the sale, for the down payment, I guess. The equity. Bridging is providing money to your client based on the additional equity on their sale, per se. We'll get to that. But in the event that you do have a bridge, you have an option here. You put two existing mortgages. One is to be discharged with National Bank, and two is to be paid off bridge financing. Now, sorry, I take that back. So let's suppose as soon as you get your bridge docs, you have to, as soon as you have your closing date, you must also request a discharge for bridging once your purchase transaction goes through. So right away, you're not wasting time. We'll get to that. So for now, I'm just going to put one. Mortgage registration number. The PIN is right here on the top. That's your registration number, which is PR25971. Mortgage registration date is 2014, September 10. Okay. Is mortgage an institution or a private lender? Institution, because it's National Bank of Canada. Respond with the mortgagee, yes. If it was private, usually with the solicitor. Are we obtaining a first mortgage for discharge purposes? Yes. Mortgagee is National Bank. National Bank, which is here, but that's the where it's registered. So it's registered at 110 Matheson Street. Okay, we'll figure. Oh, it's right here. You know that they moved this this branch is not there anymore, right? 110. I had to find that the hard way. So National Bank, it's not complete because we don't have a discharge statement yet. Usually when you, let's request it and then we'll come back to that. So let's go and request a discharge statement. So you're going to go under document production and you're going to produce, the most important thing when on a sale transaction is you request your discharge statement because you want to be there on time. And there's a lot of backlogs out there with banks. So we have to look for the discharge, request discharge, which usually it's L1L. I look for the little codes. You'll get used to it. This is to discharge funds. Where are the little codes? Ah, this one. So in your document production, you have letter to existing first mortgagee for mortgage. You're going to click on that and you're going to produce that document. So let's produce it. I'm going to send you guys my list of discharges because I escalate everything. So I'll make it quicker and easy and you get discharged within a day. So we get open all. So it produced, look at that. So now we have this. So we're going to send by via email to, and then we're going to put it escalations department at whatever. Okay. So we're going to write that. You're going to make sure that when you write this, you're going to read it on the solicitor acting on behalf of Wartol, Veronica O, which matches to my registration here. And I like to put that in bold because these departments, they go so fast. Sometimes they don't even look. So I highlight it for them. Here's the client. Here's my closing date. And guess what I'm looking for? Discharge. Once they see that in bold, it's fast. Oh, here's the client. Here's the okay, and it's fast. That's what I've noticed. Usually in real estate, people don't take their time to read, so you can go on and on and on, and they don't care. So here we have our file number, our property address, and you're gonna hit print, and you're going to attach it. You're gonna send it by email. You're gonna attach your request that you have here with your instrument, registered instrument that we have here, so they can identify. And then when you ask your client, what is your mortgage number? You're going to put here mortgage loan number. Could be, I don't know. Let's put this. You're also going to highlight this so it's easier for them. So it's easier for them to see. This is your mortgage loan number, and you're going to obtain that from your client based on the sale checklist that I sent to you guys. So let's suppose, okay, now we're gonna don't save. Let's save. I want to save it because I want to remind me, guys, for next time. I'm going to show you how you can go through the back way of conveyancer on TC Win, and it will give you all the breakdown of files. And you can, every time you get IDs from clients or communications, I can show you how to transfer that into the TC Win folders. That's for conveyancer. Now, if you guys will do Unity, There is no such thing. You will have to do the client folder, the one that we did together previously. That will be individually, where you save everything to that particular file, the file, your client file on that folder, on the folder. Okay, so now if you guys look into your materials, I've sent you guys. Let's suppose we got a discharge statement from National Bank. Which is this one. If you guys cannot identify it. That's your discharge statement. And the reason why I chose this one is because some banks, like National Bank, they said here in handwriting, please add discharge fee of $300. You're going to come across that, you know, not everybody's like TD or RBC where everything's so nicely per diem and this is the registration of the discharge of 7762 and this and this and that. So let's do the discharge statement, which I think someone had a question previously on our first tutorial. There was a nice lady that asked about per diem. So here we go. I'm going to answer your question. So we have our discharge statement. Do not do this manually. People make too many mistakes. It says here, amount payable to discharge this mortgage. You're going to click here on the pencil. Check this box to use mortgage payout calculator. Absolutely. You must do this at all material times. Do not do this manually. I've seen way too many people make mistakes because, not because they're dumb, but because they have too much pressure with too many closings, telephone rings, emails, texts, fax, and so on. I like to play it safe. So principal as at, what's the principal date? What's the payout date? So we have the loan number, okay? Principal balance as at, says here 2021, February 12th. Accrued from February 12th to your closing date, which obviously it was February 16th, but it got postponed to February 22nd. So February 16, okay. And what is the total amount? It's debt subtotal, $379,970.25 plus $300, because that's what your discharge says. So let's go to your calculator. So we got $379,970.25 plus $300 equals $380,270.25 per diem. This is the per diem. We were talking about per diem. What's the per diem per day? Daily interest as of February 16. You add per diem after the payout date. That's when you apply per diem. When you're dealing with MCAP private mortgages, they tell you the cutoff time. They say that if you're going to give me funds on February 16 and we don't receive it by 1 p.m., you must add an additional per diem interest until the next business days. So be careful. 26.12. Okay, so we have here the per diem interest. This is National Bank. You're going to click on here. How much do you want to add per diem? So right now, we're closing on the 22nd. I have to make sure that this thing is not expired. Because if this thing expires, you got an issue. That means you have to get an additional discharge statement. So it doesn't say here that this discharge statement expires at such date. So what I did is I called the branch And I wrote down everything on my stickies here. I made a sticky. I made a sticky is who I spoke to, and this is that you do not need an additional discharge statement because it's not stipulated. You will find that other discharge statements, for example, RBC, it says that if the mortgage is not paid within the closing date, you have 10 business days. If it passes 10 business days, the current discharge statement is now null and void. You must request a new discharge statement. So you must go through the discharge statement with a fine-tooth comb, because God forbid you do not pay exactly what it says. Guess what? The mortgage doesn't get paid. It does not get discharged on title. And that goes against your solicitor's undertakings that you are promising to pay off this discharge, right? So select a date. So we're closing on the 22nd. There's a national bank, so that means I can go to any branch and go and pay this myself and get a teller stamp. So I'm going to put 2 days. Let's suppose, I don't know, well, I got many closings on the 23rd. Let's put 2 days per diems to be safe. Now, if you have home trust payout statement, or you have MCAP, or you have Manulife, those are banks that are long distance. So for example, Manulife is in Windsor. Home Trust is in Toronto. First National in Toronto. You want to give yourself a couple of days, because lately when you make that certified check, you're going to add a couple days per diem. So if I'm closing on the 22nd, if I order a courier, which I usually use A&B courier, it will take away a couple of days. So let's give 2 to 3 days, so until the 26th. Okay. So right away, conveyancer is calculating your per diem, which is $261.20. Separate check for discharge fee? No. That comes into play when you're dealing with private mortgages. You will say yes, because usually a solicitor acting for a private mortgage will add their fee, which sometimes it can become quite ridiculous on what they charge. But that's another discussion for another day. So we're going to hit OK. Okay, perfect. Discharge is to be registered by whom? Mortgagee. Beautiful. We did that. So we're complete. We're complete. Once we have that completed, usually when you're interacting with your client, not only do you obtain their information, but send them an introduction letter. I sent you guys today a template of introduction letter to your client. That's for a purchase. I gotta send you one for a sale. That's what I forgot to do. Introduction to your client. Introduction of sale client. And let's talk about the requisition. So by now that you have a discharge statement, and you input it here, let's suppose that by then the solicitor went ahead and give you a requisition letter. But before we do that, I want to be able to show you how to make sure you open up a file, in the sense of we did open up the file already on PC Law. Okay, so never mind. So document production, I just want to go, if this thing has it, does this have an introduction letter? So I'm going to open up the file now, and I'm going to use file opening information sheet, and you're going to put that in front of the file. You're going to produce it. So you have all relevant data open. And by the way, you have a sale transaction, so you're going to use a green folder because you're receiving money. Common sense. So basically, what you put into conveyancer, that's what conveyancer will produce. Whatever information you put in. It's not up to conveyancer to police the transaction of what you put in. So here's a sale file opening sheet, which summarizes what we just did. So I usually like to cut that out. The special comments, I usually cut that and put that at the very bottom. Paste. So we have that. This is going to be your cover page for the front of the file. You're going to put in a file and you're going to put it
best friend.
You're going to put it in here. Okay? And we're going to put tape all around it for storage purposes with the elastics. And again, if I'm emphasizing on elastics or whatever reason, it's because been there, done that. So file number, we're going to put your file number, we're going to bold it. We're going to make it bigger because you want to see it. So in the event that clerk, I'm going to change it to Priya. So what is the closing date? I like to put that so I can keep. Paste. Date. Sale 2. I also like to put that bigger because when you're looking for a file, when you have so many files, you want to be able to boom, see the closing date, what's the file number, and the property address. Here you would know who was referred by. I like to keep everything intact. Consenting spouse, yes. PIN number, yes. Okay, so here we would have known who the law clerk is, which we'll touch base on that. Listing brokerage. Can I print this if that's okay? So I can show them on how to set up a file. And again, I might take a little bit time on this, but don't get upset. There's a reason behind my madness. You must always remember that if I emphasize on something, it's because I know what I'm talking about. So print. So do you see this sale transaction thing here? We're also going to put that in front of the file. But before I do that, we're going to cut it. I use a ruler. And you run it through the paper like this. Fast, easy. As you can see, I don't have much patience, and I really don't. Ta-da. Ta-da.
That's the checklist?
This is your checklist.
You're going to staple
Hi,
inside
Priya.
Yep.
So, because you're sharing the screen, we can't actually see what you're doing. Or at least I.
Shoot. So what does that mean? So
maybe you can do it after, like.
How do I share back the screen? See, this is the dummy in me.
Okay, you know what? Okay, we have to stop sharing the screen. Then just 1 second. Yeah. Just 1 second.
Okay. I'm going to emphasize it because this is very important. So don't get mad at me if I'm taking a little bit longer, because I'm emphasizing it because this is crucial. This also, the way I'm going to show you how to set up a file, it gives an impression to your client that you're a professional and you like to keep your files neat and in order, especially in the event of a law society audit. You want to impress upon them. That's what I like to do.
I don't impress anything.
Huh? So,
I don't do this.
isn't this nice?
Oh yeah, it looks really nice.
Doesn't it look professional? You got your closing date, your file number,
Not
and your...
mine.
Well,
You wanna change the screen? You wanna change the screen?
how do I change the screen?
Okay. Okay. Just 1 second.
Amma, you are so smart.
Is it working?
I don't know. You can tell me. I'm not good with
Oh, we need it.
with
I think-
technology, but
I'm gonna take a
You have
picture.
to stop sharing the screen.
No.
in order for it to
Okay, I'm gonna take a
Yeah,
picture.
just scan it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna take a picture and put it here.
Hello?
Just 1 second. They can see. Now they can see.
Who was that?
now they can see.
No.
Can you guys see?
Yeah. See? On the right hand side.
What is this?
You just seal transaction. You just do, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys see this?
No, they can see from here.
Oh.
See? This is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you guys see this?
No, so I have to take a picture.
Okay, take a picture. Okay, good. Take a picture. Good.
Oh, do you stable it outside or inside?
Do you have tape? But you're gonna do it all around.
Yeah.
Why? Because when you put it on storage and then you take out the file, this is not gonna.
So see, both of
Okay.
them
There's
are
a
right
reason
here.
behind my madness, huh?
Both of them right here.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's so neat.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, don't go away, because you're gonna have to do another picture on how exactly a file should look like. And again, don't be mad.
On the
There's a reason why I'm taking my time. Because I've seen nothing but disasters out there. And let me tell you that the Law Society will judge you based on how your file looks.
Especially when it comes to practice review.
Especially when it comes to practice review.
Yeah.
This is fast. This is easy.
It's okay.
No, I'm very particular. Very particular. If something doesn't look nice, I get really upset. That's what happens with old age.
My husband is like that.
Like that? Okay, so now I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit. Sorry, sweetheart. But you're not important. Okay. Now pretend this file folder is green. Okay? Okay, so take a picture how a file should look like. The first page.
Leave it.
Not the first, yeah. The first.
Leave it.
How the front of a file should look like. How it must look like. A lot of lawyers, they handwrite it in the front, which is gross. Can anybody see what the first page of a file must look like? So you have at the top, you can see your closing date, file number, property address, and at the bottom you have your sale checklist. And you're gonna tape, invisible tape. I'm not gonna show you how you can get that. invisible tape all around the paperwork. Make sure you don't miss a spot, especially the corners, because again, when you go and put this on storage, you don't want any papers to be pulled. Or in the event that when you do pull that file because of Law Society, you're going to show them this, that you're a pro. And this is what a pro looks like.
I want to look like a pro.
Well, follow my...
I want to be a pro.
So when you're looking for a file, it's going to come easy. Say, okay, this and that. And at the side, where it says name, do you have a thick black marker?
Top left, you can see, even top left, you can see. Okay.
Okay, there's one more picture. 21, I know, I should have not done that, and I thought about it. 01, property address is 107 Octilo Boulevard. Amar, take a picture of this, please. Can you take a picture of this, please? Amar, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
No, take a picture like this.
Oh, like this?
Like this, please.
Is he a Lord of England?
Huh?
Hold one.
What are you calling?
Hold one.
Yeah, the whole file. He's a Lord of England.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Okay, so if you see on the side, I put 107 Octavio Boulevard and then the file number. The reason why you should do that, because when you put it in a file box, in a banker's box, hopefully in a plastic banker's box, and you're looking for a file, right away, you're going to be able to identify it. At the right side, you have your file number, 21001, and then you have your property address. You can do this however you want it. This is how usually it's the fastest and quickest way when you're looking for a file. And then when you pull a file, you'll be able to confirm it at the front. So again, if I'm taking my time, it's because it's crucial. You might not agree with me today. You will agree with me soon, sooner or later. So, okay, so we'll go back to
top left.
Top left.
Hi, Priya. I have a question here.
Yep.
So the list which you have just attached on the file on the top, did you send it to us on the email? I don't see that in the email.
Also, let them know that they can produce these documents from the conveyancer.
Yeah, didn't you see me that I produced if you look at your screen too, are we sharing a screen? No?
Is it the introduction letter on the top or something else?
Introduction letter is when you speak to your client, you're going to get their telephone, their email, and then as soon as you finish obtaining that information, you're going to send them an introductory letter, which I provided one for you for purchase, not sale, and I have to remember that. Go ahead.
So the letter which is on, because remember you're the one you were editing earlier and you put it on top of the file, because I do see that the low letter is in the email, but the letter which is on the top, I don't see it anywhere. Is it from the document production?
Yes. Yeah. Do you see here on the side, it says DP filer, it says open, and then it says description file opening information sheet. The reason why I did not provide that to you by email is because you can automatically produce that in Conveyancer.
Do you want me to stop sharing the screen or do you...
No, share the screen. Share the screen.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Still sharing the screen.
Sorry, what was the name of the letter again? Sorry.
Can you see here in my arrow?
Yes.
It says file opening information sheet. You can produce that from conveyancer. You don't need me to provide that to
Do
you.
we have that option in Unity? Because I'm using Unity. Do we have that option here?
Of
Yeah, I'm
course,
pretty
at
sure.
the very end.
That's all mine.
Great, thank you.
You're most welcome.
Why not in yours?
We'll get to Unity. Although I'm not liking very much Unity, to be quite frank with you. Okay, hit the X button, and we're back on our document production. On the Word, we're gonna hit X, save. Yes, we're saving the document, and you will see it here. You will see the documents you produced so far. You see it here. If you wanna, I was just about to say, if you want to obtain a copy of it, it's already saved in your TC Win. In your TC Win.
Sorry, what's TC Win?
TC Win is the back way of knowing where all the documents that you saved. So let me get out of this, and I'll show you. You're going to need to know TC Win once I show you how to upload a transfer. But I'll show you now. TC Win. So you go in your file folder. Where was your TC Win again, Amna?
It was somewhere at the bottom.
Document, not documents for signing. Okay, let's go to desktop. No. No, that's not what I want. OneDrive. No, due process. Hello. There we go. So it's under your due process. Due process. Let me show you a trick. Let's click on TC Win. Let's click on Docs. And see here, you have all the file numbers. See, this is what I love about Conveyancer, and I haven't seen that on Unity. But here we have all the file numbers. So let's suppose your client emails you the property tax bill, the mortgage statement, so you can get a loan number, IDs, and anything you want to save. You're going to go to TC Win. You're going to look for, you're going to go under Docs. You're going to look for your file. Let's click on this one. And you're going to see here that these are all the documents you produced. So this is the back of what was produced on that particular file. And if you want to save your clients, and you should for practice, your client's IDs and what I've mentioned, property taxes, you will save it here as well. So you have it, not only you will have it as a hard copy, you will have it as soft copy. Here are your PDFs. So here you have ledgers, for example. Here you have TerraNet Connect. Once we start doing searches through TerraView, it'll automatically save your searches and your instruments and your RIT details here. Okay? FYI. In the event that you lose your files or there's a flood or fire or whatnot. We talked about that already. Okay, perfect. So we hit that. So now you produced your information sheet. You're almost good to rock and roll. The only thing we have to go over is the requisition letter, which we need to get. We need to get that. And believe it or not, I forgot to print it out. So I'm going to get it from my email. No. Next. Email. Okay, so new rec letter. Let's suppose there we go. So here's our rec letter. This is what a rec letter looks like. Oh, we got the wrong solicitor. It's Gordon Ross. So let's go back and change solicitor. We got the wrong solicitor. So let's look at Ross. Where's Jay Gordon? Oh, there he is. Perfect. So, no, I want to go back to that requisition letter. Oh, there it is. Okay, so here's the requisition letter that the purchaser solicitor has done. And usually on a purchaser solicitor, they must do all the searches. They must perform all type of searches. That includes the parcel register, executions on the sale, on the owner of the property. Some like to extend it to the fact that they call the city of Brampton. They call them and say, hey, I need a work order. If there's any work orders outstanding, on a property, some I like to do because of the agreement of purchase and sale. It says that the basement is finished. I want to see that there's no outstanding work order, because if there is, then you got yourself an issue. You want to be able to address that matter beforehand. So you get yourself a
You know what? It's 8:22, so I'm thinking maybe requisitions is a good part where we should elaborate more.
Yeah, this is just the beginning. It is 8:22. This is just the beginning, but I want you to guys.
This we can leave for the next class.
Yeah, we'll leave it for the next class. I just wanted to add a couple of pointers on a requisition. We have the file number of the solicitor, which we're going to put. It happens to be the same one as almost as ours. So now we know we have to draft the transfer as follows. So we got Bu Dali, March 19, 1992. We're going to go to the very beginning. Number 100500, edit. So Dali Bu, I don't know if he's Canadian resident. I don't know that. Date of birth. We said 1992. What would we say? Let me see. 1992. 1992. March 19. March 19, 1992. Okay. Perfect. We got her. Him. What's her? What's Preet? What's Preet? Oh. Preet is a year older than him. Interesting. So 1991. 1991. So judging by their age, they must be first-time home buyers, right? Yeah. This is what I gather. April 15. Oh, April 15, 1991. Okay. And how are they going to take title? They're taking title as joint tenants. You have tenants in common. So let's talk about that. Does anybody know the difference between joint tenants and tenants in common? I'm assuming, would you guys know the difference?
Yeah, they're lawyers.
Some do, some don't. You'd be surprised.
These are my students. They knew each and everything.
Okay, so
we do know.
You do know the difference? Perfect.
See?
Okay, I'm just asking. You'd be surprised what's out there.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes I forget.
My students are the best.
I know that your students are the best. I know they're smart.
Tomken was my students, everybody.
Okay, so
My student.
I'm skimming through down the requisition letter. I notice here's the PIN. That's the PIN number, the identification. I want to make sure that I have the right one. 0187. Press OK. Yes. Select. So I have their ID as joint tenants. I have to put as joint tenants. Okay.
Awesome.
Now still it's not complete because I need to know what date I'm signing my client. So it's not fully complete yet. And I like to see these check marks. You guys see these check marks? I like that because it means that the information has been verified. That's what the check mark means, that it's okay, you approved it, move on. You don't have to go and look at it again and waste time. What was I saying? Okay, so the requisition letter. Okay, so there's a charge that they want it to be discharged. And there's also subject to a right. Okay. We have to talk about subject to a right when it comes to that, which was stipulated in the agreement of purchase and sale, by the way. I highlighted in red vendor's doc, DRA. These are all requisitions that I like to put in. Identity fraud, PIN number survey. I talk about private lenders as well. Undertaking to readjust. Okay, perfect. So we need to respond to this requisition. So we're gonna go to our, where is it? Response to requisition. So based on the requisition of the other solicitor, it doesn't talk about executions. So far our client is clean. But let's suppose he's not. Let's suppose there is an execution. Let's suppose. Oh no. Executions affidavit. Okay, so that's tab O. Let's suppose that our client has an execution. If it's higher than $50,000, that means you must obtain a clear certificate from the solicitor who put the execution in. I'll give you an example later on for probably next class when we do have an execution. But let's say that it's below $50,000 and your client is not one and the same person. We're going to add a new declaration. The client, what's your name of your client? Veronica O. Okay. And you're going to add a paragraph. Enter the name of the debtor in the similar name execution. So we're going to put in the similar name execution. Let's say it's Veronica, I don't know, Flower. Oh, that's all I could think about.
Like the sings a lot. We got a lot of sings.
You know what? If you have a Sing or Nguyen, you have even the Canada Mortgage Housing Corporation. And they owe big time money. If your client has a middle name Singh or Kaur, which identifies male or female, don't take them to take title as that, because a lot of executions will pop up during a search, and you do not want that. So let's proceed.
Oh, can you tell them not to do that?
You can instruct your client, yes.
Oh.
As long as you do,
it's there. Purchase agreement has the.
Okay, so if you have mortgage instructions and your mortgage instructions say Navjeet Kaur, and you're pulling off a lot of executions on that, you're gonna say no, client wants to take title as Navjeet Kaur, and then you're gonna do an affidavit of one and the same person saying, I, Navjeet Kaur, say that Navjeet Kaur is one and the same person.
Yeah.
Right? Because mortgage instructions do not dictate how your client is going to take title. Right? Sometimes mortgage instructions, they don't even put Singh, or they just put a different name. You must make sure you supply that with an affidavit that it's one and the same affidavit, that Navjeet Kaur, say that Navjeet Kaur and Navjeet Kaur are one and the same person. We'll get to that once we do a purchase transaction, which It won't be as easy and as fast as a sale transaction, okay? So keep that in mind. So if more than one debtor is named in the execution, type a plus or one up. No, there's no more one debtor, so proceed. If one and more debtor, nope, proceed. Enter the number under which the writ of execution was filed, and the solicitor for the purchaser will provide you with the search that he pulled, and it is, let's say it's 21. You're going to know that execution happened on the year 21. If it shows a 12, you're going to know that execution happened on the year 12. Now, let's suppose we have an execution that has expired and it's on the thumbnail description on your property. You're going to do an application to delete an execution, and we'll probably get to that on the next session. We're going to touch the assumption, how to delete an assumption. A lot of lawyers don't know how to do that, and I want to take my time showing you how to delete by way of an application general to the assumption of a subdivision to delete it from thumbnail. We're going to touch how to delete an execution that already has expired on title, and we're going to touch reply on requisitions. How do we respond to the lawyer who's just sent us a requisition letter? We're also going to do how to submit the transfer, the deed to TareView, and the quickest and fastest way to do it. There's a trick. I'll show you that. And then, hopefully, we're going to start producing all the documentations of a vendor transaction. So now we're going to proceed. Enter the name of the plaintiff. I know we're almost on time. What's the plaintiff's name that is owed money on the execution? I don't know. Say Priya P. Okay, all right. Proceed. Enter the amount of the judgment. So it will show you the amount of the judgment, and we'll do that. Again, we'll touch this once we have a purchase transaction and we're doing our requisition. Enter the amount of the costs. I don't know, say $200. Proceed. Okay. So you have that, and that is complete. We'll touch this again. Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Do you have any question? Ask, do you have any questions?
Any questions?
Where is everybody?
Oh my God, don't tell me. Everybody.
Everybody is sleeping? But guys, do you have any question?
Did something happen to them?
No.
No,
You're good.
thank you so much. Thank you, Priya. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, we were scared. Everyone was sleeping right now.
No, I mean, ask them if they're enjoying this class.
Did you really enjoy this class, or
Give us your feedback.
or Priya? We need a feedback. Priya is good. Priya is.
No, sir. The class was really helpful. Thank you so much, Priya. It was really helpful. So we're gonna go again. I'm gonna just go back to my Unity, and I'm gonna search everything you taught us today. So yeah, it's gonna be like that. I'm gonna practice myself. Thank you so much.
No problem. If you have questions on Unity, let me know.
Got it?
Sure, Priya. Thank you. Sure, I
No
will.
problem.
Who is talking? This girl. See who that is. Get connected now.
No.
Everybody's.
How many students were there? How many students were there today?
Today, I don't know.
19.
19?
Yeah.
But 3 or 4